$1. That is the exact cost of the compound Japanese auto detailers have been using for decades to produce optical-grade, streak-free windshields, a result that professional detailing shops in the United States charge between $80 and $150 per session to replicate. The compound is isopropyl alcohol, specifically the 70% concentration you find at any dollar store, any pharmacy, any supermarket on the planet. A small bottle costs under $1 in most countries. It weighs almost nothing. It fits in a glove compartment. And when it is applied correctly, with a technique that took Japanese professional detailers the better part of the 20th century to perfect, it dissolves every category of windshield contamination that exists. The oily film from dashboard off-gassing, road grease transferred by wiper blades, mineral deposits from hard water, oxidized silicone from cheap rubber seals, insect protein, exhaust particulates, and the stubborn haze that accumulates on interior glass over months of driving. The global automotive glass cleaner market is worth approximately $4.2 billion annually. It includes aerosol sprays, ammonia-based solutions, nano-coating kits, and polymer treatments sold at prices ranging from $8 to $90 per unit. Every single one of those products exists, in part, because the industry discovered decades ago that a non-patentable commodity-grade solvent like isopropyl alcohol was too cheap and too effective to build a profitable business around. The moment a product cannot be branded, patented, or reformulated with trademarked additives, it disappears from the marketing conversation. It does not vanish from the workshops of people who actually know what they are doing. Japanese automotive technicians have known about isopropyl alcohol as a glass preparation compound since the early 1950s, when the post-war reconstruction of Japan's manufacturing sector produced a generation of precision mechanics who applied the same standards to automotive finishing that had been developed for optical lenses in camera manufacturing. The Nikon and Canon lens grinding workshops of that era used isopropyl alcohol as the final cleaning step before quality inspection because it was the only solvent capable of removing every microscopic residue from glass without leaving a secondary film. Automotive technicians at Toyota's Nagoya assembly plants adopted the same protocol for windshield preparation before factory installation. By 1962, it was standard operating procedure at every major Japanese vehicle manufacturer. Japan did not discover the compound. They inherited it from a lineage of industrial glassworkers stretching back centuries. Bohemian glassmakers in the 16th century used spirits of wine, essentially the ethanol equivalent of what we now call isopropyl alcohol, to clean optical glass before coating and inspection. Their techniques were documented by the Prussian Academy of Sciences in 1743, when the Kingdom of Prussia was building its first precision optical instruments for military range-finding. The Prussians recognized that no mechanical polishing or water-based cleaning method could achieve the same result as a final alcohol rinse. The glass surface had to be chemically degreased, not just physically wiped. By the time the British Royal Navy standardized its periscope maintenance protocols in 1891, alcohol-based glass cleaning was already embedded in the technical manuals of every major naval power in Europe. The Royal Navy's maintenance codes for optical glass on submarine periscopes specified a two-step process: a mechanical wipe to remove gross contamination, followed by an alcohol wipe to eliminate the molecular film left behind by human contact and atmospheric exposure. The reasoning was purely functional. A periscope lens with residual grease scatters light. Scattered light means poor target identification. Poor target identification in combat costs ships and lives. So they used the cheapest, most effective degreaser available, and they used it correctly. The United States military arrived at the same conclusion independently during the Second World War. The Army Air Corps discovered that bomber crews in the Pacific Theater were arriving at target areas with cockpit glass compromised by a combination of hydraulic fluid mist, condensation, and the outgassing of interior plastics heated by tropical sun. The glass was technically clean, but optically degraded. In 1944, the Air Corps Engineering Division at Wright Field issued Technical Order 00-25-172, which specified isopropyl alcohol as a standard cleaning agent for aircraft transparency panels, the technical term for canopy glass and windshields. The order remained in effect for decades. Versions of it still govern maintenance protocols for military aircraft today. The automotive world borrowed this knowledge slowly. American service manuals of the 1950s and 1960s still recommended ammonia-based glass cleaners as the primary solution for windshield cleaning, primarily because ammonia was cheap and the detergent industry had already built a distribution network around it. The problem with ammonia on automotive glass is structural. Ammonia is a base. The films it leaves behind when it evaporates are not chemically neutral. On interior glass, where those films are exposed to heat from the dashboard and the plastic structures behind the glass, ammonia residue reacts with the silicone and vinyl compounds in the interior to create a fresh cycle of contamination. The windshield cleaned with an ammonia product today produces a new haze within 2 to 3 weeks. That haze requires another cleaning. That cleaning requires another product. The cycle is profitable. It is not accidental. Isopropyl alcohol does not behave this way. When it evaporates, and it evaporates completely, leaving no residue, it takes every contaminant with it. There is no secondary reaction with dashboard plastics, no interaction with window tint adhesive, no degradation of rubber seals. The glass surface left behind is chemically inert. It does not attract new contamination at an accelerated rate. Under normal driving conditions, a windshield cleaned with the correct isopropyl alcohol technique stays clear for 6 to 8 weeks before requiring another treatment, 2 to 3 times longer than the results produced by commercial glass cleaners. The specific contamination that makes automotive windshields so difficult to clean is a compound problem with 3 distinct layers. The outermost layer on exterior glass consists of mineral deposits from water, road film from tire spray, and oxidized insect protein. The middle layer is a silicone residue transferred from wiper blades that have been treated with protectants, a standard practice at car washes worldwide. The deepest layer, particularly on interior glass, is the plasticizer film produced by dashboard off-gassing. Plasticizers are the chemical compounds added to PVC and vinyl to keep them flexible. They are volatile. They evaporate slowly, particularly when the interior of a parked car reaches temperatures of 60 to 80 degrees Celsius on a summer day. They drift upward and condense on the coldest nearby surface, the windshield. The result is a transparent, oily molecular film that commercial cleaners can spread around but rarely eliminate completely. Isopropyl alcohol dissolves all 3 layers because it is both a polar and non-polar solvent in practical terms. It bonds to water-soluble mineral deposits and to oil-soluble organic films simultaneously. No commercial glass cleaner in any price bracket replicates this dual solvent action without the addition of surfactants that themselves leave a trace residue. The Japanese detailing protocol exploits this chemistry through a specific application method that maximizes contact time and eliminates recontamination during the wiping process. In the description, you will find a complete manual with the full system that Japanese professional detailers use routinely, including the preparation sequences that never appear in Western service documentation. Here is how to execute the procedure correctly. You need 3 items: a bottle of 70% isopropyl alcohol. The 70% concentration outperforms 91% for glass cleaning because the water content in the 70% formula extends evaporation time, giving the alcohol more time to dissolve contamination before it lifts off the surface. A spray bottle, if the alcohol does not already come in one, and 2 clean microfiber cloths. The microfiber cloths must be freshly laundered, dried without fabric softener, and unused since washing. Fabric softener deposits a wax-based coating on microfiber that transfers directly to glass. A microfiber cloth conditioned with fabric softener is worse than no cloth at all. You buy the 70% isopropyl alcohol at any dollar store, any pharmacy chain, or any supermarket. The standard 16-ounce bottle costs between 80 cents and $1.50 in most markets. That single bottle contains enough solution for approximately 20 to 30 full windshield treatments. The cost per treatment is approximately 4 cents. For comparison, a single professional detailing session that includes interior and exterior glasswork costs between $80 and $150 at a reputable shop. A commercial aerosol glass cleaner retails at $8 to $12 and provides enough solution for 4 to 6 windshield applications, putting the per application cost at roughly $2. The isopropyl alcohol protocol costs 4 cents per application and produces superior results by every measurable optical standard. The procedure begins with the exterior glass. Park the vehicle in shade or indoors. Direct sunlight causes the alcohol to evaporate before it has completed its work, which produces the streaking that most people associate with alcohol-based cleaning, a result of incorrect application, not the compound itself. Spray the exterior windshield surface with 3 to 4 pumps of isopropyl alcohol, distributing the spray across the full surface area. Do not wipe immediately. Allow 15 to 20 seconds of contact time. This dwell period is the step that commercial cleaning products skip by design. A product that requires 20 seconds of dwell time is inconvenient to sell. During those 20 seconds, the alcohol is dissolving the mineral layer, breaking the bond between the silicone residue and the glass, and penetrating the outer surface of the plasticizer film. After the dwell period, take the first microfiber cloth and wipe the glass in a single overlapping pattern, horizontal strokes across the full width of the windshield from top to bottom. Apply moderate pressure. The cloth will pick up visible contamination. Fold the cloth after each stroke to present a clean face to the glass. When all 4 faces of the folded cloth have been used, set it aside. It is contaminated and must not touch the glass again. Take the second dry microfiber cloth and immediately buff the entire windshield surface before the alcohol has fully evaporated. This buffing step, performed within 10 to 15 seconds of the first wipe, is the technical core of the Japanese protocol. The residual moisture from the partial evaporation of the alcohol carries the last dissolved contaminants off the glass as the dry cloth absorbs it. The result is a surface with 0 residual film. Hold a flashlight at a 45-degree angle to the glass after this step. The beam should pass through without producing any halo, scatter, or rainbow effect. If it does, repeat the procedure once. In practice, a single pass is sufficient on glass that has never been treated with ceramic coatings or factory hydrophobic treatments. Repeat the full sequence on the interior glass. Interior glass requires particular care about the angle of wiping. The rake angle of modern windshields, typically between 60 and 75 degrees from vertical on passenger vehicles, makes it difficult to reach the lower third of the interior surface from the driver's seat. Japanese professional technicians address this by entering the vehicle from the passenger side and working across the full width of the glass from a kneeling position on the passenger seat. This gives full arm extension and correct perpendicular pressure across the entire surface. It is less comfortable than wiping from the driver's seat. It produces an incomparably better result. Wiper blade contamination is the most common reason a correctly cleaned windshield develops streaks within days of treatment. Wiper blades accumulate road grime, silicone from car wash treatments, and oxidized rubber compounds that transfer directly to the glass on the first rain or the first use of the washer system. Before completing the windshield treatment, lift each wiper arm and wipe the full length of the blade edge with a cloth dampened with isopropyl alcohol. This removes the transfer residue that would immediately recontaminate the cleaned glass. Replace wiper blades that show visible cracking, hardening, or lifting. No cleaning protocol compensates for mechanically degraded rubber. The complete material cost for this entire procedure, alcohol, 2 microfiber cloths purchased once and washed repeatedly, is under $3 for the initial setup and approximately 4 cents per application thereafter. A professional detail that achieves the same result costs $80 to $150 and requires driving to a shop and waiting. The knowledge that separates these two outcomes is not technical complexity. It is the same knowledge that Prussian optical engineers documented in 1743, that the British Royal Navy embedded in periscope maintenance codes in 1891, that the American Air Corps standardized for combat aircraft in 1944, and that Japanese auto detailers refined into a 2-cloth 20-second dwell protocol over the course of 60 years of daily professional practice. That protocol costs $1. The industry that depends on you not knowing it is worth $4 billion. Every bohemian glassmaker who held a piece of optical glass up to a lantern and saw perfect clarity after an alcohol wipe knew what the bottle on the shelf at your pharmacy contains. Every Prussian engineer who documented that knowledge in an academy paper knew it. Every Royal Navy maintenance technician who cleaned a periscope lens before a dive knew it. Every Japanese detailing professional who reaches for the small bottle before polishing a windshield to optical clarity knows it today. Now you know it too. If this changed the way you look at the products being sold to you and at the products being kept from you, subscribe to this channel and share this video with one person who pays $80 for a detail job they could do in 5 minutes for 4 cents. That person deserves to know.